Hello friends, happy summer. We're not, I guess, officially in summer yet till a couple of weeks because we have to have the summer equinox, which is on like the 21st of June, but most likely by the time that this video is posted, it will be summer. So happy summer. I have not done a talking video in quite some time, and I wanted to just give a very quick update about my channel. So I'm going to continue to do my monthly document your life videos because I love doing those. But I have been encouraged by some friends to start vlogging again and to also incorporate my goal for 2026, which is to read 24 books. Now, I have currently read 11 out of the 24 books. And so that is basically 2 books a month. So I kind of want to include a reading vlog every month that is more focused on my books and my reading goal and kind of what I'm doing. I'm also trying to post more on my Instagram, which is under the same name, Alisha X Joy. Specifically, we'll be posting more book-related content over there, as well as probably mixed in just some day-to-day life. The earlier clip you saw in this video, or the earlier clips, will probably consist of like me making coffee, you know, a little bit of work.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I'm not going to get into my work situation right now, but it is kind of blissful because I have the opportunity to read now more than I have been previously because of the given situation. So what am I currently reading? Let me just pop that up right now. But I'm currently reading Behind Five Willows by June Her. This is my current read. This just came out at the end of May, so this is a fresh book. I have read another book by June Her, The Red Palace, which is kind of actually, truthfully, what kind of got me out of my like years-long reading slump. I read it about, I think it was like 2 years ago. It was at the end of 2024 and I devoured it. And then I also read the Britney Spears book that she did, which I also loved, and then that kind of helped me make a goal for 2025, which I surpassed. It was only about 6 books, but I said like I wanted to read like more than 2, and then this year I've set out to read 24, and so far I have been doing that. Hello friends, what day is it today? It's Wednesday. I am heading over to go pick my friend up, and then we are going to go to Indigo to shoot some content. I've also been asked by my brother to pick up a book for him while I'm there, so I will also be doing that. I'm thinking I'm gonna grab a coffee and maybe a baked good. There's the Dark Horse espresso bar that's attached to the one Indigo, and I saw this girl that I follow on YouTube. I follow her on YouTube and Instagram, Lana's Solo Life, And she hit up the Dark Horse Espresso Bar. There's a number of them around our area. Anyways, and she got this, what was it called? It was like a blueberry iced latte. So your girl wants to try that. So anyways, I will catch up with you once we are at Indigo. Hello friends, I am back from our little midday book adventure. I did get the blueberry iced coffee as well as a matcha pistachio cookie. I will post a picture here. Delicious. So good. Or actually, I will post a picture after I show you the books that I got. So one of the books is not mine. It's for my brother. He specifically asked me to pick this up. He likes to read classics. And so he specifically asked for 1984 by George Orwell. So I picked that up for him. This is a classic, so not that expensive. It was only $12, which I'm jealous. And then I picked up a book that I have been wanting to read, and I probably shouldn't have, because honestly I have so many books to read. I have so many physical books, and I have my Kobo, and I haven't even been reading on my Kobo lately. But I also feel like you cannot go into a store without picking up a book. So I ended up getting the Time Shop Coffee, right? No, the Time Hop Coffee Shop. This is by Federa Patrick. And also, can we just talk about like how pretty these edges are? Like, I'm so excited. I'm going to be doing a series most likely on my Instagram specifically about books that are like inspired by coffee or coffee shops, because I like to read books with coffee as a theme as someone who loves coffee. And I've already read at least 2 books that are kind of centered around coffee culture, cafes, and I have now this one to add to my list, and I have one other one that my arm that I am that's on Kindle Unlimited that I want to read. So I thought it would be cool eventually, once I've read all of these, to do like a series that specifically talks about books and a coffee theme. So anyways, I'm going to go back to work, enjoy the rest of my coffee and my cookie, and I will check in with you guys later. I have a haircut tonight, so I will definitely be reading. So I did read a lot last night as well. I don't know how far I got in my book. I'm almost like 20 chapters in. I really like it. It's super good. And I definitely get the like Pride and Prejudice vibes because it's inspired by Pride and Prejudice. And I definitely see that throughout the novel. So anyways, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Good morning, friends. Happy Thursday. I forgot to check in yesterday evening. I did end up reading a little bit more in the book that I was reading, but it was really late. I read until after 1 in the morning. I didn't even realize what time it was. I was just so like into the story. So much was happening all at once. And then I was like, I feel like I've been reading for a while. I need to look at what time it is. Excuse me, morning voice. And it was like 7 after 1 in the morning. And I was like, I need to go to bed. So I didn't get a clip of that, but I think I'm on chapter 26 in the Behind Five Willows novel. I posted a picture on my Instagram, so I'll insert it here. All I can say is, okay, so if you know the Pride and Prejudice story well, you kind of can see where the story is going. It's obviously not exactly the same because we're dealing with Chosun period Korea. So you can't really, I don't know, like it's obviously like the situation is not going to be the same as like Pride and Prejudice setting in the UK, like in England, right? So the way that things are being done and like the way the story is working, it's following the same kind of set of events, but in which the events are happening, it's different. So if you know Pride and Prejudice well, which I'm obsessed with that story, I literally watch the Keira Knightley movie at least once a year, usually in the fall. It's like a thing that I do. So if you know the story well, you kind of can tell where things are headed, but it's really interesting to see how she is applying it, like I said, to Joseon era Korea. There was a quote in the book. If I can find it, I will bring it up and I will read it to you. It's in Korean, but I like literally bookmarked it. I like took a picture and I was like, oh my gosh, yes. So it's on page 204, and basically I can't expose anything, so I'm just gonna read it. If you're interested in reading the book, you'll know, but basically it's between the female main character and the male main character. So the female main character is remembering something that the male lead had written in a letter. So it's in Korean and it says 이 세상에 진실로 저를 아는 사람 아내를 만났다 아로다로 한이 없을 것이다. And basically, my Korean is terrible, so I apologize to all the Korean viewers. But it says, if there is one person in this entire world who understands me, she recited in a whisper, her mind drifting across the handwriting she committed to memory, I can live this life without bitterness. And I just was like, ah! So anyways, I'm definitely enjoying this story. I'm really excited to see where it goes. I do know from conversations I've seen online with the author that something happens behind Five Willows, and I'm wondering what this is. Like, my brain is like running. But anyways, if you like Pride and Prejudice, even if you don't like if you're not into K-pop or like K-dramas or Korean history, I do think that you would still enjoy this book. So I do recommend. It's very K-drama-ish vibes, but also like with a classic story. So yeah, I did a lot of reading yesterday because I had time at the hair salon, and also last night I just went to town. I will also have time tomorrow. I don't know what I'm gonna, probably tonight I'll read a little bit more because I need to know what happens. But that's my reading update for now. Hi guys. Okay, so I have an update. I know I haven't really, I think my last update was on Friday, which was 3 days ago. And I had told you that I thought that on Friday, because I was going to a wedding, I will, if I have video, I will input some video. Anyways, I thought that I would be reading on the ride to and from, but I didn't end up doing so. However, last night I finished the book. Okay, so my thoughts on this book, 5 out of 5 stars. I freaking loved it. I have read, Junher has a whole bunch of other books. I've read The Red Palace by her, which is what my introduction to her was, and it was so good. But this, I feel like this is probably, it's so hard because I've been reading a lot of good books. The last book I finished was This Book Made Me Think of You, which I think I also gave 5 stars. And so this is the third 5-star read of this year. My first read of this year was by Catherine Center. I can't remember the name of it. I'll put it up on the screen. But that was also a 5-star read. So this is the third 5-star read out of 12 books. This is the 12th book that I read this year. And I can't even explain to you. There are so many quotes that I took pictures of that I really liked. The whole Pride and Prejudice vibe, but also it being different. I loved it so much. And the epilogue at the end, if you know, you know, if you've read it, I was like, so anyways, I highly recommend, if you like Pride and Prejudice, I would give this a read. I know a lot of people may not be into Korean history and, you know, kind of K-drama vibes, but honestly, you will not regret reading this. It's really well done. Hello friends, happy Saturday. I thought that I would share with you guys, yes, I literally bought another book. Do you know how many books I bought this month? You'll be able to see. Comment down below at the end of this video how many books I have bought this month in total. And you will get a like. I went to breakfast with my friend this morning and there is an Indigo right there next to the breakfast spot. So we walked in there and I can't tell you how many books I picked up and put down. Anyways, this one though, because it was on sale, I purchased it. So I got Yesteryear by, what's the author's name? Carl Claire Burke. I am so excited to read this. I don't know if this will be the next book I read because I'd like to read something summer vibey, but this book I actually first saw on Instagram and the author herself was talking about it. And so if you're wondering, it's basically about a trad wife influencer who basically is selling a lifestyle that she herself is not following and then ends up being transported. I think it's like back into the 1800s where she has to live as a trad wife and her life is miserable and she has to find her way back to the present. And I've heard that it's like very funny and it's very thought-provoking as well. And there also is a deal where if you bought any book in the store, you get their bestseller for $10. And so this is called Theo of Golden. It sounds really good. Basically, it's a stranger arrives in a small southern city by the name of Golden, and the person's name is Theo, and he basically starts purchasing these pencil portraits of people and giving them back to the individuals who are in the portrait. And it's just like it says, with exchange a story is told, a friendship born, and a life altered. And then it says, a story of giving and receiving, of seeing and being seen. Theo of Golden is a beautifully crafted novel about the power of creative generosity, the importance of wonder to a purposeful life, and the invisible threads of kindness that bind us one to another. And there have been very few negative reviews, and I've seen this online. I know a lot of people get emotional, and the girl that at the checkout said that she read it and she cried, and I was like, oh my gosh. And she's like, but in a good way. So unexpected. This was $31 for 2 books, which, if you know how expensive books are, that is a reading. Oops. Got Coffee by Clara Ashby. I'm like 30% of the way through this. It's cute. The main character rambles a lot, which is very interesting. Very similar to me, I feel like. But her rambling are literal run-on sentences in the book. So it is kind of funny. But yeah. So that is all I hope to read at some point today. But yeah, there's my mini book haul. long time no see. Been doing some reading. Oh, sorry, my pencil case is in the way here. I got some Prime Day deals and I want to show you. We're gonna do like a cut because I'm gonna test out one of the products, but one of them is reading related or like Kobo related, so I thought that I would share it with you guys. So the first thing I got was I got a mic setup, and this, as you can see, has 3 different adapters because I wanted something that I could use on my phone, but I also have a Canon G7X Mark 3 that I would like to use more. I just need to charge it. So I wanted something that I could also use with my camera for better sound quality. So I purchased this baby. It was on sale for Prime Day. I can link this one below. It had decent reviews. So I'm gonna try this and I will like switch to talk about some reading and stuff that's been taking place and what's been going on, because I do have some news. I got approved for an ERC and I want to talk about it. And then the second thing I got, because it was also on sale, was the MetaPen M2. So a lot of people were talking about the MetaPens as a alternative to the Kobo stylus. I have a Kobo Libra color. I'm obsessed with it in every way. However, the Kobo Libra stylus, the Kobo stylus 2, it's almost $90. And not that I'm not willing to spend the money, but if there is something that is just as good and it's cheaper, I want to try it. So I was looking online. They have the M1 by this brand as well, which is also compatible. And then there is another brand. It started with an R, and that is also compatible. However, this one is magnetic. I liked the shade of this one better. Now, some people don't like it because it's backwards. So you have to use this end, which is supposed to be like the eraser for the highlighter. And then this is for drawing. And then the button is what erases everything. I don't really think that's a big deal, because I guess on the Kobo stylus, the button changes from writing to highlighting. But I kind of like the idea that you don't have to hit a button, you just flip it. So anyways, very excited. Still reading, got coffee. I can't remember the author's name. I'm liking it. I have like about 100 pages left, so I'm about 53% of the way through the novel. And it's really cute because it started off as a kind of just like a romance novel about like a cozy coffee shop, but it's kind of turned into a mystery a little bit. And it was really funny because last night I was reading and they were talking about this character in the book having a speakeasy, and I was watching an ASMR video. I don't remember who it was. I can picture in my head. I will link the video on the screen. And she starts talking about this perfume, and she basically says that it's from the Speakeasy line. And I just thought that was a really wacky and weird coincidence. I was dying laughing about that. Anyways, I got approved for another arc on NetGalley. It is called Matcha on Monday, and it is a translated novel. Apparently, I didn't know this, but it's actually a sequel. However, I don't think you need to have read the first book in order to enjoy and read the second book. So I'm really excited about that. I have 2 arcs now. That arc is due in July sometime, so that's probably going to be the next book that I pick up. In all honesty, I've read 1. At the end of last year, I read a Japanese novel, and I have read already another Japanese novel this year. I really like them. I know that they're translated, and so it may not be exactly the same as like what it is in Japanese, but they're just such sweet novels, and they just, I don't know, they change you. They make you think about things. Both of the books I read made me cry, which, if you're wondering, it was If Cats Disappeared from the World. And then the second one was, I think it was called A Hidden Cherry Blossom cafe or something like that. Anyways, I'll put them both on the screen. They were both beautiful. I don't know what that popping noise just was. I don't know if you guys heard that. That creeped me out a little bit. Anyways, yeah, so to have another Japanese novel is cool. Hello, friends. Welcome back to another segment of I don't even know anymore. What clip are we on? I have no idea. Anyways, I bought another book. Yeah. Like I said, how many books have I bought this month? I don't even know. How many books have I bought? It's not even been a full month. I started this video later in June and I don't know. I feel like I've bought so many books. I think I've bought 4, which I guess is not that crazy, but when you usually don't buy any books and then you just keep buying books. Anyways, I didn't just buy a book. I'm going to show you. It's so cute, guys. I saw this last week so literally almost a week ago, because on Saturday I did visit Indigo and they had these really cute book bags. And I actually saw one in the wild. So someone was carrying the bigger tote and I was like, oh my God, this is so cute. And I saw that it had like book club on it and I was like, oh my God, where is this bag from? And then lo and behold, I ended up at Indigo later in the week, but they have the big tote, but then they have this and it's the mini version and it's just so cute. So it has, I don't know if you can tell, but here it says Indigo Book Club and then it says estimated 1995, I believe. 1995 or 1999? No, I think it's 1999. Anyways, it's super cute. It has like the pocket in the front. I can't really show you with my mic. And then it also has like a little pocket in here with a zipper. And I'm assuming like the whole purpose is like this is your book club bag. And I love this because I don't know. I just like, not that I honestly go around bringing like tons of bags with me. I'm very minimal, but especially if you're like traveling or you're going somewhere specific in the car and you want to have a bag to put your books in. I grew up going to cottages growing up and I would always have a book bag with me until I got an e-reader. And I remember there was one summer we had downsized our vehicle and my mom was like, you are very limited in your space. And I think I only brought 2 books with me, and no word of a lie, I finished the one book on my way to the cottage. And then the second book I finished like within a day. And so I was bored out of my mind because back in the early 2000s, when you would go away to a cottage, you were unreachable. We didn't really have smartphones. We weren't really connected. And even if you did have a cell phone, you didn't have Wi Fi and you definitely didn't have service. So it was great because essentially it was a book retreat for me. And I usually would read within that week, I read like 4 to 5 books at a time. It was one of my favorite times of the year. And to be honest with you, I miss going away and being disconnected. Now you go away to a cottage and you're still connected. Like you have service, you have Wi-Fi at a lot of these cottages, and so you don't really feel like you're disconnected. However, I do have time coming up shortly, and I'm hoping to honestly just spend a lot of time reading. But I not only bought the bag, I did buy a book, and the book is Picking Daisies on Sundays. I don't remember where. Okay, so first of all, I don't know how to pronounce the author's name. It's Leanna Sinsodi or Sincati. I'm not sure. I'm sorry, Leanna, if I'm butchering your last name. Um, Anyways, she's from New England. And I didn't realize, but she has multiple books. I've only seen this one floating around. But then when I went to Indigo, she had like a whole section, not a whole section, but like in the romance section, she had like a number of books. So based on how much I enjoy this one, I would be interested in picking um up another book from her. Tessa Bailey had books there too. Oh my gosh, guys. I don't know if I've actually read a Tessa Bailey book. I feel like I have though. I don't know. Anyways, this is what I got. I can read you the back. It says she had always longed for love until she fell for her childhood best friend. Guilty. It was the hand trembling, heart thumping kind of love that you weren't supposed to feel when you looked at your best friend. But it all ended when Levi didn't feel the same way and Daniela Daisy Maria vowed to never see him again. 4 years later, there he is in a crowded West Village bar, just as perfect as ever. Maybe it's the lighting or the way his hair curls above his brow, but when he asks her to be his fake girlfriend for his sister's wedding, she can't bring herself to say no. But with old feelings resurfacing at every stage romantic interaction and stolen glance, she begins to wonder if maybe this time she should have protected her heart. And I mean, like, honestly, let's be real here. Hasn't like almost every girl fallen for their guy best friend? I mean, I did when I was younger. Did it work out? Absolutely not. Did that person ever even know? Probably not. Am I exposing myself on the internet in a book vlog? Potentially. Anyways, super cute trope, I think. So, yeah, I am looking forward to this. I'm almost done. I'm so close to being done, you guys. I have like less than 100 pages in Got Coffee. I am enjoying it. It's very cute. However, I'm kind of like want the romance to progress a little bit more. It's not, I don't know. Our main character rambles a lot. She's very insecure about things and she's doubting whether or not Jack is feeling the same. And I'm just like, hurry up! Like, we got less than 100 pages. Like, obviously, I know that this is a no spice book, so I know it's not going to get spicy and hot and heavy, and that's fine. I'm totally fine with that. But I'm like, can we at least kiss each other? Like, she just accidentally kissed him on the cheek, and I'm like, and he just kind of was because there's other people there. I'm like, are we not going to talk about, like, I'm sorry, if I kissed a boy on the cheek, that boy would be like, what does this mean? What are we? Who are we? Where is this going? Instead, nothing really seemed to happen. Anyways, we will see. It's cute. I think this is going to be like a 3.5-star book. I have no idea where it's going to go. Like, I don't know how it's going to end exactly, but yeah, and then I'm going to have to read, I really want to read this, but I can't. I have an arc. I need to read Matcha on Monday. So that is going to be the next book I read. I'm just hoping it's not sad. I've read some sad books and this Got Coffee has been cute. It's been a good like uplift, but I feel like I just need something different. So Matcha Monday, it's by a Japanese author. I don't know the name. I will obviously give you my thoughts about. Hello, friends. I'm back to give you. I don't know if this will be my last update. I just wanted to let you know I did finish the book that I was reading, which is Got Coffee. I gave it 3.5 stars. It was cute. It's a no spice kind of romance. So if you're into that kind of thing, it would be a cute book to read. I was getting a little frustrated. You'll see in my reading clip from last night, I literally said, I am so mad. And the reason why I was so mad is because it kind of was just starting to drag on. It was inevitable what was going to happen. And I just didn't understand why the main character was just being so indecisive and annoying. Like, I know it's supposed to bring tension, but at that point, I was like, can we just please? Because we all know what's going to end up happening, right? I will give the fact that I thought that this was going to be kind of like an enemies to lovers trope or like a competitors to lovers trope. And
it kind of was like that, but not really. And then it kind of took a turn. So I have to give it that. It was very interesting. I wasn't expecting kind of where it went. So I have to give the author that. Um, she actually has another novel and it's about a flower shop. So I would be interested in reading another one of her books. I don't know what the plot line is. I don't know if it's the same plot, but yeah. Um, but yeah, it was cute. And then I'm currently already, and this is why I'm saying I don't know that this will be the last update because I'm 36% of the way through Matcha on Monday already. I literally just picked this up and it's not even 300 pages and I'm almost on page 100. So potentially I might finish it today. I would actually love if I could finish this today because then I could get my review in and move on to summer reads. So I will talk to you guys again if I do finish this. Hello, friends. I am back because I have an update. So, first and foremost, I have to be on the quieter side. Hopefully, you can hear me with the microphone. My mom just made her way to bed. It's 20 after 10 p.m. And I just wanted to let you know that I finished Matcha on Monday. So, I thought I would do one last check in before the end of the month. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It was so good. And I have to write a review for it. Honestly, it just was so impactful and like made you think a lot about life and your impact on other people and how you don't know how like your life and the decisions that you make can impact other people. Essentially, the book has one in common, like one character in common in everybody's story. And all of the stories are basically connected through one person. Like you start from one and then it goes a whole year, and each chapter is following a different person but is connected somehow to the story previously. So it was very, very creative. And yeah, it was just like very impactful. I really liked it. So 4 out of 5. There's something about Japanese literature. This is the third book by a Japanese author that I have read. This is the second one this year, but the end of last year I read another one. So that is all for the month of June. I am probably going to be picking up another book. I think I'm going to pick up why can't I remember the name of it? I am so bad. Picking daisies or picking on daisies or picking up daisies or something. I had mentioned it. I just purchased it. I'm thinking that that's the vibe that I'm wanting to go in. I was thinking about yesteryear. I really want to read that, but I don't think I want to focus on that right now. And I also got the Time Hop coffee shop, but I don't want to read anything with coffee and I don't want to read something sad. And I also don't want to necessarily read something about cats at the moment because those three things I've been reading a lot of books about. So I think I'm going to start with that one. There was one book by Catherine Center, but I don't know. I don't want to read that right now. It is on my summer TBR list along with Emily Henry. What do you guys think about Carly Fortune? Because I know that they have taken the duology and they've turned it into a TV show, but everybody is disappointed in the TV show. I also know that in the first book, she cheats. So, and some people don't like that. They hate that. So, I would love to know your thoughts down below. I've never read any of her books. I've also never read Abby Jimenez. I really want to read one of Abby Jimenez's books. However, I feel like I need to try and get through the books I've purchased. There's also another one, and of a different name. I might add that to my summer TBR. And this is the thing. We're already going into July. However, I was able to read 4 books this month, which is literally insane. I have not done that in so long. So, I mean, if I could do the same thing next month, then it would be wonderful. But like I said, this is the first time I've done that this year. I've just been doing the 2. So, anyways, my wrap up, I read this book made me think of you. I read Got Coffee. I read Matcha on Monday. I don't remember what and I read Behind Five Willows by Junher. Those are the 4 books I read this month. So I think I read close to 1,200 pages, which is crazy. And yeah, I'm going to try and keep it up. The only good thing is I do have time off coming, like this week. I will be off from Monday. Sorry, I will be off from Wednesday, which is Canada Day. And then which is July 1st. And then I'm not going back to work until July 13th. I don't have a lot of things planned. So I am hoping that I will literally be in the backyard, beaches, places where I can read. So fingers crossed. Anyways, I think I am going to pick up Picking Daisies on Sunday. That's what it's called. I have it just there, and I'm gonna start reading that, and I will catch you guys in the next vlog. Toodaloo, bye bye, good night. It's late here. Like I said, it's almost 10:30. So good night, friends. I'll catch you in the next video. Ooh. There's fluff there. I thought that was a bug. We'll cut that out.